Tea partiers rejoiced over the elections 2 weeks ago. Most of their favorite candidates had the Mama Grizzly in their corner when they won. But now the thriller from Wasilla is fighting someone who is not even running for elective office, Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke. Former Governor Sarah Palin joins us now. Governor, thank you for returning to Freedom Watch. Thanks for being our first guest on our first daily show, and thanks for being here in the studio.
Thank you. It's my honor. Thanks, Ted.
What do people need to know about what the Federal Reserve is doing? What do they need to understand will happen to the money in their wallets and in their bank accounts, even to the value of their assets, if the Fed floods billions into the money supply?
If the Fed starts printing money out of thin air, which is basically what quantitative easing is, printing money without anything to back up that piece of currency, yes, our dollar will be devalued. Our savings accounts, our retirement accounts, all of that will be devalued. And you couple that with what's going on today with commodity prices going on. You talked a little bit about chocolate, some problems there. And I'm hearing about, like coffee, commodity prices, like coffee beans going up 40%. Well, we're going to look at inflation is what we're going to see as a result of the quantitative easing, commodity prices going up, and then the unpredictable volatility of the world. There could be an activity that takes place that really drives inflation.
There's a supermarket out near where I live, which is owned by staunch libertarians, one of the reasons I'm happy to shop there. And he posts signs about what items cost a year ago. Now, I didn't even realize this. Milk is up 13 cents a gallon since last Thanksgiving. And you were telling me about baby formula. Do you think that the consumer recognizes the insidious role that the government itself plays in causing the value of the dollar to go down and the price of everything to go up?
Yeah, I think that the public does understand that because many of us are studiers of history and we see what has gone on in our country and in other countries over all these years. We see what can work, we see what doesn't work. If Germany even is a country that today is warning us that quantitative easing and printing this money out of thin air, that we better rethink what the Fed is doing right now. If even Germany is warning us, then that is a signal that we need to step back and that the public has a right to question what the Fed is doing.
The public has a right to question what the Fed is doing. You and I have talked before about how the Fed should be audited. Our mutual friend Congressman Ron Paul and our mutual friend Senator Jim DeMint proposed legislation to have it audited. It was oh so close to getting passed. They knocked it out in a conference committee after it had passed both houses of Congress. Now, Congressman Ron Paul is about to become chair of a subcommittee on monetary policy from the House Financial Services Committee.
Good.
He can issue a subpoena to Ben Bernanke and say, Mr. Chairman, come over here. And by the way, bring all your books and records with you. Should he do that?
He certainly should, and we should support Ron Paul doing this because the Fed, the way that it's going today, at some point here, especially with the quantitative easing that we see, number 2, we're going to see about $3 trillion on the Fed's books. That's about 20% of our GDP. We're going to be in the same category as Japan. 23% of their GDP it was manipulated through their monetary policy that was changed kind of the same way that we're doing this. And, we're going to be in the same category as Japan, which is known for having this weak decade lost because of the things that they're doing. We're repeating what it is that they're doing, which was failure.
I suspect that we both read a great book called 1984.
Oh, God.
A harrowing, terrifying view of the future, written right at the end of World War II by George Orwell, a British socialist, by the way. One of the things that he complains about in there is newspeak, creating new words to mean things. So we have this quantitative easing. What it really is the Federal Reserve creating money out of thin air and shoving it into the marketplace. They call it quantitative easing so that it will sound like it's fancy and good, and if the government's doing it, it must be good. But people need to know what it really is.
They need to know what it is and how Orwellian it really is. And, I think, Judge, what you're doing and what hopefully I get to participate in, too, is speaking in layman's terms, explaining, especially to the young people, what is going on with the Federal Reserve.
Right now, more than ever, the public needs to hear this.
The conspiracy against your money.
This is why we're here, so we can address the issue before it's too late.
As you've probably noticed, we are living through an economic disaster unlike anything the world has ever seen. People are losing their homes at record rates. Household and government debt is exploding. Good people we love and care about are losing their jobs and their savings. The middle class is shrinking and is in great danger of disappearing altogether. My name is Andrew Cass. As you'll soon see, there is indeed a conspiracy. It's been pulled over the eyes of honest, hardworking citizens like you and me by the people in power. They've kept us in the dark far too long, and we've paid for it far too dearly. But now it's our turn, and it's not too late. We know what happened to your money. We know who took it. And if you're the type of person who's willing to take a stand for yourself, with courage, integrity, and a self-made resolve, we know exactly what you can do about it. You see, most will never have the opportunity to pull back the curtain and look behind it like you are about to. By the end of this DVD, you will know who is taking your money and what you can do about it starting today.